UMass Basketball Travis Ford Show. Sponsored by Coca-Cola.
Well, hi, everybody, and welcome to the UMass Basketball Show, sponsored by Coca-Cola. Scott Coen, Travis Ford, and we were talking before the break, and actually a couple of days ago, we can't believe it's already basketball season.
Seems like we were just here.
I think we were just here. Good to see you.
It's great to be here. I tell you, we're off to a good start, but it has come so quickly, I guess, because we played in the postseason last year, and then kind of the anticipation of this season being so different and so many new players. I think it just came so quickly for everybody. I know it did for us as a staff, and I know for our basketball team, it's gone by so quickly that we've barely even got to take a breath.
Well, so talk about I guess that's a big question everybody wants to know, Travis. It's really, with aside from Gary and a couple other holdovers, it's a new ball club, really.
It's a completely new ball club. There's only really two players on this basketball team that has played any significant minutes on our basketball team. That would be Gary Forbes and Chris Lowe. We've had other players who are older, like a Luke Bonner, Etienne Broward, Dante, but they really haven't been put in a position where where now they're playing significant minutes, right, where they're going to be expected to make a difference in the basketball game for a long, extended period of time. So that's been new. Bringing in 7, 8 freshmen is always a challenge for any basketball team. But I don't know if there's any team in America that has changed from one style of play to the other. We have just flipped 180 degrees as far as playing a power inside game the past 2 years to now everything's based on speed, outside shooting and things like that. But it's been a lot of fun for us to coach these guys.
And quickly before we get to highlights, this is your style of basketball.
It is. Prior to getting to UMass, this is how I played. Now, this is actually probably a little bit faster than I've ever played and shot more threes than I ever have. But I've always played up-tempo. I've always pressed and done some things. But I think we've even taken this team to another level, which is playing to this team's strength. Yep. It really is. We're not really an aggressive, physical basketball team as far as inside play is concerned. So we're really trying to just create a lot of space on the court, get the ball up and down the court as fast as possible, and make it a 94-foot basketball game.
All right, well, let's take a look at it. Last night, Saturday, against Wisconsin Green Bay at the Mullen Center, and your second home game, of course. We'll take a look at Yale in a moment. But this was a good team, and you guys came out really strong, led from beginning to end.
This is a very good team. You see us getting out on the break, Etienne Broward getting started off right. Wisconsin Green Bay is a true Atlantic 10 type team. They really are. We just got out to an incredible start. Luke Bonner made a big three there. That's obviously a strength of his. And, this was as close to how we want to play as we've played this year out of 5 basketball games, and one by Tony Gaffney, who's really given us good minutes every time he's in there.
15 points for him last night. A couple of nice blocks here.
Absolutely. We ended up with 13 blocked shots as a team, which is something I wouldn't really expect from our basketball team. I thought we'd create a lot of turnovers. Very good move by Gary there. It's great to see Gary playing well. It's the first time his father got to watch him play in college basketball.
Oh, that's how great. That's good.
So I was very excited for him that he played well. There it is, Max Grove getting in, making threes, and just wait till he gets loose, guys. When he starts getting loose, he can really shoot it.
Big Gary Forbes three. You guys tied a school record for three-point shots, 15 made, 32 attempted. And they're pretty big inside, Coach. But when you hit outside shots, you don't even have to worry about them, do you?
And that's kind of the strategy we're going to use the whole year. We do not want it to be a half-court game. We do not want teams to take advantage of our lack of aggressiveness inside, a lack of inside play as far as strength and height. Great pass by Gary to Etienne, and Etienne was just really shot the ball.
Yeah, tremendous.
Etienne may be one of our most consistent players right now. For game in and game out, you know what you're going to get from him.
All right, so you're 21 points up, 56-35 at the break, and in the second half, you just kind of let him go out and play, and I think Dante Milligan's playing terrific.
Dante really, the last 2 games, he's really gotten to the flow of the game. He's given us great minutes, not just, he's scoring some points. Good shot by Ricky. Gary Correa's playing good basketball. But Dante's rebounding the ball and scoring as well.
Wisconsin Green Bay trying to get back into the game. They had a 5-0 run, but that was kind of the long and the short of it for the guys in green last night. You guys were just bombing from the outside, and everything went your way.
It was. Our defense is really great pass there and great finish. Our defense has really been lacking this year. We haven't really played much defense. Until last night, I thought our defense had really took another step forward for us because we scored a lot of points off our defense, which we haven't been doing. For us to be a fast-breaking team, your defense has got to create that. And I thought last night, for the first time against a very good Green Bay team, our defense helped us create a lot of easy opportunities at the other end.
All right, 93-78, your second straight win at home. Of course, Gary Forbes and Etienne Barrera both had big nights, and you're 4-1 on the season right now. And I would say that all in all, not half bad.
No, I said going into this break, I hope to at least be 4-1. And even the one game we lost at Northern Iowa in their tournament at their home gym, they're picked at the top of the Missouri Valley. Yep. We probably played our worst game, and it's down 3 with 14 seconds to go, and we had several opportunities to tie or go ahead. We shot 5 of 28 that game, but it was good. It was good for our basketball team for a lot of reasons. Talking about that Northern Iowa game, that I was worried about when we found a game where we didn't make threes. What's going to happen? We shoot 5 of 28 against a very good team and still had a chance to win. So I came out of that game with never like to lose, but it was a good experience as far as understanding that if we continue to work hard, we can still survive without making threes at nights.
All right, well, listen, Yale started the week off at the Mullen Center on Wednesday night. Let's go ahead and take a look at highlights from that game. It was your home opener after your play out in the tournament. You came into the game at 2-1, and take us through this. Good one to get going at home.
Yeah, these guys, Yale, who's picked to win their league again, they returned 5 starters off last year's team, as did Green Bay, but we struggled for a while as far as getting into the flow of the game, and I contribute a lot of it. We were a tired basketball team. A nice finish by Gary Forbes there underneath out of bounds play. Chris Lowe, who was playing at about 50%, who ended up not playing against Green Bay, was just hobbled all night long. We were a tired basketball team, and I never let my team know it during the game, but I knew as I was watching, let's just get through this basketball game. And we picked it up at the end. I think as tired as we were, Yale was much tighter. They were about to, if they make comments after the game, that it was the most tired they've ever been in a basketball game.
Well, that's a credit to you guys.
And we've been doing that to teams. And we finally started making a few threes here and there. And our style of play, I think, ended up allowing us to win this game. And Dante Milligan had 17 points and a lot of rebounds, which we really needed against a very stingy Yale basketball team.
So tell us about Chris Lowe. Again, he you said hobbled in this one, didn't play last night against Wisconsin Green Bay. What's his status?
He got hurt in the Northern Iowa tournament in our second game, I think it was, or first game, in our first game. It's an ankle injury. It's an ankle injury that I kept playing him off and on, and it never got better. So finally we came to the conclusion he just needs to sit out until he gets better. And the other guys have done a great job picking up the slack.
I think they have as well. 48-44 UMass at the break, like you said, only a 4-point lead. And there's your big man, Luke Bonner, boy. We're going to see some. He's going to have to contribute this year.
Oh, no question. Between Luke Bonner, Dante Milligan, Tony Gaffney, Pompolo, all these guys who we consider our inside players, Trey Lang even, who could play. It's going to be by committee. Different guys going to do it different nights, and these guys know that. Whoever gets in and they're playing the best, that's who's going to play. Everybody's going to get their opportunity, but I feel very comfortable that we have 3 or 4 guys that can hold down that position.
All right, and there you go. And there's the big win over Yale to get the home schedule off to a flying start. And, boy, that is exactly the way you want to do it. And you go take a look at the final score was 89-80. Ricky Harris, who you always sing his praises, and Dante Milligan, 2 really good games for him. He had 17. So, like I said, Coach, I think you're looking pretty good right now.
I like it. Our style of play, we want to score in the 90s. We're averaging about 89 points a game right now after 4 games. 3 of those were obviously away from the Mullen Center, so we're excited about that. One thing that we didn't get to do in the first 3 to 4 games is shoot as many threes as we want. We actually have a goal that we want to shoot 26 to 27 threes or more a game, right. And we hadn't been getting to that. There was a couple of reasons. We were going to the foul line almost 40 times a game in that Northern Iowa tournament, which is going to keep you from shooting 3-point shots. And then, we got caught a lot of times fouling too much ourselves, which slows the game down. But again, last night against Green Bay, that's how we want to play. We shot over 33s a game. Obviously, we'd love to make as many as we did, but that's never a guarantee. But the flow of the game was as close as we've played all year long to how we've practiced for the last 2 months. We just got to continue to get better defensively. We're still a team that hasn't out-rebounded anyone in 5 games. Right. We may not out-rebound anybody, I don't know, but we've got to be competitive on the glass. So I like where we're at right now going into this break that we have being 4-1.
All right, well, listen, our first segment of the season, I think we passed the audition, picked up right where we left off last year.
Going pretty good.
All right, well, when Coach and I come back, we've got some of our regular segments on the UMass Basketball Show. We have our Minute with the Minute Man. Mr. Pennie is this week's subject, our Play of the Week, and a whole lot more. Stick around. We'll be right back. And welcome back to the UMass Basketball Show, brought to you by Coca-Cola. Time for our Big Y World Class Markets play of the week. And we always joke about we kind of want to spread this around, but Gary Forbes gets the first nod this year, Coach.
Well, very deserving, obviously. Gary's had a great week, first 8-9 days. Again, we played a lot of games in an 8-day period, but Gary has led us in scoring, led us in rebounding almost every single game. And, the last game against Green Bay, we had to put him at the point guard spot for probably 30 minutes of the game. So he's been very versatile for our team. He's done whatever we've asked. And I think he's ready for a great senior year. All
right, let's take a look at it. It comes to us from the Yale game, right off the inbounds here. And you know this one, Coach.
Right. It was early in the game, which we needed that in this Yale game. That was an underneath out-of-bounds play we put in just for this game. And that was actually Coach Ginsburg, Adam Ginsburg, saw a weakness in Yale's defense underneath, and he gave me an idea, and I went with it. So you got to give Coach Ginsburg all the credit for the underneath out-of-bounds play, but Gary finished it off, something he and I can't do. So we let Gary do that.
All right, employing the team concept, even on the coaching staff.
Absolutely.
Matt Pennie is the subject of our Minute with the Minuteman, and boy, he's just a tremendous story, tremendous kid. He's a captain this year. A couple of words before we get to see it.
Matt Pennie is just an incredible ambassador for UMass University, not just the men's basketball team. What he means to us, we don't have enough time. He's the most respected player on our basketball team. He's someone who's made a commitment financially as well. He's someone who's paid his way for 5 years, and he wanted to come back and be a part of the university, a part of this basketball team, and made a commitment in a lot of different areas to be a part of that, and somebody who's going to be very successful in his life. And we're just very lucky to have him. And he's a captain this year. And I tell people all the time, it's not something that I gave him. It's something he deserved and something he earned because of the respect of his teammates. All
right, it's our Minute with the Minuteman segment. ABC 40's Neil Jaffoon takes a closer look at one of the captains.
Matt Pennie, graduate forward, born and raised Hanson, Massachusetts, representing the University of Massachusetts Minutemen, defending Atlantic 10 champs.
Number 12, Matt Pennie.
Matt Pennie is not your typical college basketball player. In fact, you could call him UMass's very own Cinderella story. Like the rest of the UMass basketball players, Pennie grew up on the hardwood, playing out his high school days at Whitman-Hanson. Offers came in from D2 and D3 schools, but Pennie decided to forego a basketball future.
The original decision was just strictly academics. I came here for the sport management program. The basketball aspect of it I really didn't even take into consideration until at least my sophomore year.
That's when Pennie headed down to the UMass basketball office and signed up to be a manager.
It's not the easiest job in the world. People think that you just kind of sit behind the bench and do stats, but you're the first one in the gym, the last one to leave. I got to be around basketball again, and that was really the ultimate reason I signed up to do it.
In what little spare time he had, Matt played pickup ball, keeping himself in shape. A blessing in disguise.
I went to practice just as a manager and went through the whole practice, completed the whole thing, and then at the end he said, "Pennie, let me talk to you for a sec." And we went over, sat in the bleachers, and he said, "We want you to be a walk on this team."
He came out as a manager and made it on the team, and he's one of our most significant contributors as far as intangible things go. He's able to really motivate people on the court. You kind of have to see him every day in practice, hooting and hollering nonstop. Nothing gets him down. He's just got such a great positive energy about him when he gets in the gym.
A dream come true that was about to get a little sweeter.
In Midnight Madness, right before we're in the Mullins Center meeting, and Coach Ford announced the captains, and he called my name, and again, it's something that I couldn't have planned, couldn't have predicted, but I'm very fortunate and thankful, and I just take that very, very serious.
We obviously thought it was like a great story. When he first got on the team, he was barely dunking one hand. Now he's doing like reverse dunks, 2 hands, dunking it, everything, and just the improvement he's shown in 2 years. And like Matt Pennie's a great basketball player.
Now he's saying I can dunk and stuff, so now you'll see these weak highlights of me dunking. So thanks, Luke. I appreciate that.
Hey, after all, what are your roommates for? To give away your deepest, darkest secrets.
Pennie is the obsessive-compulsive one, and he's always giving me grief if my room's a little bit out of whack, and if he comes in my room, he's like starts to panic, and like we'll go back to his room.
I'm not a neat freak that Luke is messy. That's the only thing. Like, I just like things in order, and Luke just doesn't care. He just throws the stuff around. So if that's being a neat freak, if being on top of your game is a neat freak, I guess so.
If you haven't been able to tell, Pennie's quick with the comebacks and a source of comic relief.
He does a great impersonation of Coach Altman.
I love Coach Altman, first of all, but we always give him a hard time because we go on the road and we'll get like $7 for lunch at the airport, so I always kind of bust his chops about that. So he always tries to defend it. He'll be like, "Guys, here's $7 for lunch. You can go get what you want, get yourself a soda, get a sandwich, maybe a bag of chips." I mean, it's just it's the amount of money that they gave me at the school. There's nothing I can do. So, I mean, just get it done. It's what T4 wants, so we just got to do it.
Fun and games aside, Pennie keeps everything in perspective, from school to family. In June of 2001, Matt's mom passed away of a heart attack.
My mother's name is Mary, so I tap each of my shoes 4 times for each letter and name, and then before every game, the last time I go out, I bless myself and I kiss my hand and point to the sky. So just to let her know that, you know, I'm here and I'm representing her, I'm thinking about her every day.
Matt Pennie's name may not litter the box scores or newspaper headlines, but his role is clear as UMass's master motivator. I'm Neil Jaffoon with this week's edition of A Minute with the Minutemen.
All right, Neil, thanks a lot. Boy, I can't wait to see the Travis Ford impression that Matt has. We're going to save that for later on in the year.
For another day, absolutely. No, Matt Pennie is one of the hardest working players we have on our basketball team. He does it, you know, even in practice when he's not actually on the court competing, he is running up and down the sidelines, encouraging our players every second. He's just somebody who has an incredible amount of respect from all of his teammates. He is just an incredible asset in every part of the way. For any basketball program, would be lucky to have someone like Matt Pennie, and again, just a great ambassador for the university as a whole.
All right, very good, and we'll look forward to Matt getting out there and maybe draining a couple of threes on national TV.
I hope
right?
so. I think you can count on that soon.
Very good. Well, when Coach and I come back, we're going to have our Ask Coach Forward question, and we're also going to have Coach's Corner, a little bit different this year. Stick around. The UMass Basketball Show brought to you by Coca-Cola. We'll be right back. And welcome back to the UMass Basketball Show. Time for Coach's Corner. A little bit different this year, Coach. You're actually going to talk us through this one. So let's take a look and tell us what practice is all about.
Absolutely. We sent the film crew down. They just filmed the whole practice without me even paying attention. And I think this drill, we're talking a little bit about some defensive drills that we did. Every day we try to break down each part of our defenses, offenses. Here's a full court defensive drill, part of our press. We have about 3 or 4 different presses. There's Chris Lowe and Gary Correa working on our 2-2-1 press, working on our trapping as well. One thing we've got, not only do you have to work on the segments of it, you got to work on the mentality of pressing. And that's the biggest thing we're trying to work on here, is being aggressive to the ball. As you see us here trapping, we never want 3 guys in a trap, only 2 guys in a trap, and trying to deny the next pass out of it.
And so you work them hard in practice. You've got to transfer over to the game, huh?
Now, we try to make practices so hard that games seem easy, almost, because that's, we've got to be the last team standing. We've got to work so hard that we fatigue other teams, but we get stronger as the game goes along. And you see us, again, playing 94 feet. Very rarely do we do many drills in the half-court set. Most everything we do is for 94 feet.
And this is every practice you're working on?
Just about every practice. We'll work on one of our presses, and we'll break a press down. As you see, this is a breakdown of a press. This is basically probably 3-on-3, 4-on-4, us really just trying to be aggressive to the ball. This is an area of our game that's new, because we haven't really pressed a whole lot in the past two years. And we have a lot of freshmen who've never pressed before in their lives. But you see, again, Tony Gaffney, who you see in the front of that number 24, is probably our number 1 guy as far as in the front of the press, who can make a lot of steals, make a lot of deflections. We have a chart that we keep on the sidelines that we want to get 35 deflections a game. What's a deflection? Where you just nip the ball, kick it, block shot, whatever it may be. We believe if we can get 35-plus deflections a game, then we're going to be very successful. All
right, well, listen, our Ask Coach Ford question brought to you by UMass Catering. We've kind of been already through this, but Rick from Hamden checks in this week. How apprehensive are you starting the year with so many young players? And you kind of got us through that a little bit, but it's so far so good. I don't know if apprehensive would be the right word for me. I was very excited about this freshman class. They bring a little bit of everything. We have point guards, 2 guards, 3s, centers. We got a little bit of everything. So it's a freshman class that's going to be the future of UMass basketball, and I'm very excited about that. These guys are working hard every day. Okay, well, when Coach and I come back, we still have the look ahead. No game this week. The next one is going to be against the Orange Men. We'll break that down a little bit for you as the UMass Basketball Show, brought to you by Coke, rolls on. And welcome back to the UMass Basketball Show. So far, so good, huh? Pretty smooth right now. So 4-1, we'll take it. Everything's good. As long as we're winning, we're all right. Doesn't matter, right? The shows are fun. All right, now I have to ask you, with our look ahead, which is brought to you by UMassAthletics.com. You guys are red hot from the outside, shooting the lights out, and you have no game to play this week. I think we need to talk to the schedule maker. Yeah, exactly right. We need to be playing a game after the one last night. But no, I go back. If I could have predicted the way we played last night, I would have loved to have played another game. But I've been looking forward to this break for about 2 weeks, because we still have offenses to put in and even some defenses to put in, and we've waited to this stretch right now. It also gives our coaches an opportunity to go out and recruit a little bit without having to worry about a scouting report right now.
You do like to get right back on the court when you play as well as we did last night.
All right, well, we're going to take a look at the next game anyway. It's against Syracuse, and I've been told that they're now the Orange, not the men, but the Orange. And here they are playing St. Joe, so it's a chance to look at both teams. Coach, what about Syracuse?
Syracuse, first you're going to go into the Carrier Dome.
They are who they are, right?
They're going to have 25,000, 30,000 people in the Carrier Dome. They played 2 Atlantic 10 teams. They've beaten St. Joe's, which you see here, and they've beaten Fordham in our league. 2 teams. One was picked 2nd in the league, I think, and the other one was picked 4th in the league. And they've beaten those 2 teams. They're a team that's going to play a zone defensively for most of the game. But they have a lot of power. They have a young freshman guard, Johnny Flint, there, who's very, very, very good. They have a lot of big men inside. There are a lot of athletes. You see their zone there. St. Joe's playing against it. You'll see them get out on the break there. Paul Harris, who's a great sophomore guard, forward, play a lot of different positions. Our big key is going to be can we guard them on the inside, and can we rebound against this basketball team? That's going to be a challenge for us. But it's going to be exciting going in there. We're going to be able to have a little bit of time to prepare. Again, the way we're playing right now, we kind of get more concerned about ourselves. It's probably a game where we need to make shots, obviously against their zone, but it should be an exciting game.
And this is one of those games that they'll look at the end of the year when it comes time to selecting. We're getting way ahead of ourselves, but tournaments,
Absolutely.
You beat Syracuse. And
no question. These are important games that we go and show well and hopefully win the basketball game. No question. It's the beginning of a 2-game road trip for us, and so we need to play well with some time off. So it'll be interesting to see how we come out and play against a very good, obviously, Big East Syracuse team in a very tough environment.
Okay, UMass against Syracuse in the Carrier Dome and all the things that go along with that. Let's make sure we get in the congratulations.
Yeah,
because at UMass right now, it's just everyone's playing so good. And I know you wanted to take time to recognize
Hopefully we can follow up what the fall sports are doing. I want to first congratulate the football team and winning the Atlantic 10 and wish them the best of luck in the playoffs. And obviously our men's soccer team is going to the NCAA tournament, and women's field hockey, who played in the NCAA tournament this year. So congratulations to all those teams that represent the university extremely well, and hopefully we can follow in their footsteps.
And it looks good, too. The Toot is doing a great job with the hockey team. They beat BC last night, tied them at home on Friday night. So,
it's great hockey, because Toot and I our offices are together in the Mullen Center, so we see him quite a bit, and we pull for those guys. And they announced that they'd beaten BC during our game last night, and I told our coaches, and I said I knew they were going to get those guys. I think they're really getting in a flow right now. He has kind of a new hockey team. He's a great, great coach, and I think these guys are just now finding their flow. And as I told you earlier, you watch out for our hockey team. Something special could really happen for these guys.
All right, give me 20 seconds on you guys right now.
Well, first, I'm having as much fun coaching this team as I've had probably in all the coaching, to be honest with you. I hope my team's not watching too much because I'm still going to be tough on them, but this is a fun group to coach. It's a lot of older guys who want to prove themselves and a lot of eager younger kids, freshmen who are just bright-eyed and willing to do anything to help you win. I think it's an exciting style of basketball. I'm loving coaching it. I love to coach these young men. And, we're just taking it one game at a time. We're a team that still is figuring out its identity, strengths, and weaknesses. We're excited to be 4-1. We really are. I can't stress that enough because we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but I know our guys are going to play hard.
All right. Well, hey, good to see you again, and I look forward to having a good year.
Good show.
All right. Hey, guys, thanks a lot for watching, and Travis and I will see you down the road. Take it easy.